All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Welcome. We have a substantive one today, if I don't say so myself. So we have the return of the dumbest conspiracy theory I've ever seen in my life. Yes, of course, I'm talking about the fake Fetterman conspiracy. We're going to dive into that. We also have Ron DeSantis versus John Fetterman. That's fun. They're sniping at each other, and it's glorious. We have a shocking segment because CNN apparently actually did its job for once. We got to keep it real. I'm actually really excited about that. It's the first time in a very, very long time I've seen them just flat out do a great job on something. We'll talk about that. We have Tim Scott and Nikki Haley weigh in on the UAW strike, and it's just as bad as you think it's going to be. We have Trump getting hammered from his right on the issue of abortion, and wait for it, but did the big guy buckle? Did our big beefy boy collapse under the pressure of the far right? We shall see. And Chris Christie versus Joe Biden on the issue of Iran. Christie, of course, has made it his life's mission to hammer away at Trump in the Republican primary, but he started criticizing Joe Biden, and will determine whether or not this particular criticism makes sense. So we'll get into all that and much more. Everybody do me a big favor. Click like, click subscribe. Still desperately trying to stay ahead of Breaking Points, trying to stay ahead of my wife in the subscriber count. I don't know. They may have already passed me by now. I haven't looked in a while, but actually, you know what? They probably didn't, because I think Crystal would be rubbing it in my face when they pass me. So they grow at a much faster clip than I do on this channel. So honestly, it's probably just a matter of time. But if everybody who watches this channel click the subscribe button, then I maybe would be able to stay ahead. So hook a brother up with a subscription. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps us out tremendously. Also helps in the algorithm. You can click that bell icon so you get a little notification every single time a video drops. That also helps. And I mean, yeah, we'll jump into it in a second. And everybody also, if you aren't yet, please consider supporting the show on Patreon. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. We like to build it through small dollar donations. The link's below. You can also tip on YouTube with the thanks button, or you could support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. And of course, much love and appreciation to everybody who already does support this channel. It means the world to me. You guys are awesome. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Look, guys, it is the return of my absolute favorite conspiracy theory, which also happens to be the world's dumbest conspiracy theory. Take a look at this tweet. What do you notice about these pictures? You see, these are various pictures of Fetterman here, right? And apparently the argument from many people on the far right is that actually this is not the same guy. And I mean, I think if you go into like the real deep dark corners of the internet, they will tell you they think there are literally like 6 or 10 different John Fettermans who are pretending to be him at various times, because of course the original John Fetterman is either dead or incapacitated as a result of the depression diagnosis that he got not that long ago, or, you know, maybe the stroke took him out. And this is what they're using as the cornerstone of their argument. They're just taking pictures from various times, putting them up and say, aha, we got it. This is not John Fetterman. So, I mean, look, I could give you 1,000 examples, but I'll just give you a couple. This is one of the main ones right here from Tara Bull, whoever that is. Honestly, appropriate name. Tara Bullshit is appropriate. But look at this. Terrence K. Williams. This is not Fetterman. So they have the picture of him from recently, the one with the mustache, and they're comparing it to the old picture of him where he looks more like Lurch, I would say, from the Addams Family. Again, if you type fake Fetterman into Twitter, I don't need to go through all these with you. It's all over the place. This is all over the place. Now, we discussed this one time previously, but I couldn't help myself but to bring it up again because this conspiracy has come surging back in terms of prominence and how widespread it is. And look, man, there's a lot to say about this mindset. First, I just want to go to the... So there's a great thread here from Mark Bankston. He says, want to know where this shit started? It started with Sandy Hook parents. My clients have dealt with this nonsense every single day for over 10 years. My client Neil Heslin was labeled a crisis actor within hours of being featured on InfoWars. Here's a meme claiming he was a fireman killed on 9/11. There were similar claims for virtually all the parents, or at least the ones who have publicly available photographs. And then you can see here, this is one of the memes, you know, directly as a result of InfoWars on the Sandy Hook parents. They're showing, hey, oh my God, this is actually the exact same guy, because it's, you know, people who look similar. Let's continue here. A collection of deranged InfoWars fans harass my client, Lenny Posner, every day, claiming that his changed appearance in a court video last year proves he is actually a different man than the press pictures on the day of the tragedy 10 years ago. They bombard him and everyone he knows with emails attaching bizarre facial comparisons of different pictures, and they won't be convinced otherwise. You can explain how people's faces change. You can explain how focal lengths differ on cameras. You can show them examples. And of course, they're still not going to buy it. So look, it's not often that you can take a conspiracy and bust it up with like the most basic response, which is just showing what focal length does to people in pictures. But look at this, guys. This really is incredible. This is the same guy. 16mm camera versus 200mm camera. Look how different homie looks. Like, honestly, night and day, right? Much wider face here. As a result of the face looking wider, his features like his eyes and his nose look smaller. I mean, his hair looks colossally different as a direct result of the kind of camera it is. This is a big difference. And this is exactly what we're talking about when we look at Fetterman. Like, why he looks so different. First of all, he lost 10 pounds. Second of all, he's got a mustache now. Third of all, you're just using different cameras. Okay, next. Look at this. This one's even more astonishing. 40mm camera. Look how this girl looks. Versus 270mm camera. Look at the difference. Does it look like the same girl? No. Is it the same girl? Yes. Like, here's the thing about the hardcore conspiracy theorists that annoys me. They don't want to know the truth. They're not interested in the truth. They're interested in building an alternate reality where they can virtue signal and feel like I'm the most brilliant one in the room because I figured it all out and everybody else is just a sheep. Because again, if you just go through focal length pictures, you can tell, oh my God, people can look wildly, colossally different from one camera to another. Also, the lighting makes a giant difference. The angle makes a giant difference. People are going to look very, very different. I'm surprised people on the far right haven't started a conspiracy that I'm not the same Kyle because my hair is blonde now. All right, let's see if we got any more of this. Look at this. Look, if you say this doesn't look like the same guy, I say I agree. But I also say, this is the same guy, it's just a totally different camera, totally different focal length. Look at this. Look at this. See if we got any more here. I mean, come on, man. Come on, look at how different this looks. But it is the same person. So anyway, he continues here. People can look like other people. Sometimes a person can look very different from themselves day to day. You can explain all this. It doesn't matter. Belief is useful to them. This all became standard after Sandy Hook. You can find the same kinds of photograph comparisons for the Boston bombing, Aurora, Parkland, Sutherland Springs, Vegas, El Paso, etc., etc., etc. COVID actors, neo-Nazi actors, January 6th actors. Anything can be fake if you want it bad enough. Anything can be fake if it serves your goals. It protects your values. Reality itself becomes subordinate to your needs, your passions, your fears. And with enough disassociation, enough motivation, enough encouragement to abandon your senses in favor of your values, you'll find yourself screaming into the spectacle, Derek Chauvin is the guy from Cash Cab. You want to know why? Because Derek Chauvin looks like the guy from Cash Cab. But anybody with a brain would dig a little deeper and of course this is not the same guy. It just looks like the same guy. Freemasons and crisis actors. Benjamin Ray Bailey from TV show Cash Cab. I mean, so in other words, what? The whole George Floyd thing was staged? He wasn't actually killed? They used that to purposefully spark riots in the inner city or something? Is that the argument? So, look, I love this thread from Mark Bankston. I think it's awesome. The thing that's so annoying and complicated, if we're keeping it real here, is that are there conspiracy theories that are true? Absolutely, of course there are. The Tuskegee experiments, the Bay of Pigs, Operation Northwoods. A majority of the country thinks that it wasn't a lone gunman who killed JFK, that it was a deeper conspiracy. I happen to agree with that. Of course there are conspiracies that are true. And there's also conspiracies that have a grain of truth or a half-truth. And then there's I lost my goddamn mind and I'm saying things that are patently ridiculous. Like, whatever. The flat earth people, for example. I mean, we can come up with a list of absurd conspiracy theories, but atop that list is actually there's a bunch of fake Fettermans. There's only one, fake actor person in politics conspiracy that I'm willing to entertain, and that's Melania. I remember looking at the pictures of the fake Melania and going, that really doesn't look like her. And it wasn't just on pictures, it was also on camera. It was on like video recording. And so I was, I don't know, man. I think Melania actually does hate Trump. And I wouldn't put it past them to pay somebody to pretend to be Melania. But hey, look, ultimately it's probably not true. It's just, I love playing. That's the other thing, man, is conspiracies are fun, bro. They're fun. They're fun. So, you know, you want to engage in this stuff. You want to partake. You want to start to believe a little bit. If you get a good conspiracy theorist who's willing to be super creative, they can convince almost anybody. If you're like open to the idea, right? If you don't like actively look to fact check it and find holes in the argument, they can craft really, really convincing arguments. In fact, here, let me show you my favorite conspiracy of all time. Now, let me just say up front, obviously this is patently ridiculous. This is completely absurd. This is nowhere near true. But it's fun to play with these ideas. Look at this. Donald Trump was born in a Muslim family in Shawal Valley, North Waziristan on June 14th, 1946. Original name was Dawood Ibrahim Khan. He studied in a madrasa in South Waziristan. His parents were killed in an accident in 1954. Captain Stockdale, a retired British Indian Army officer, brought him to England in 1955, and later a couple from Queens, New York by the name of Fred and Mary adopted him and called him Donald. And so here is, look at that. Look at that. The Donald Trump is actually a Pakistani Muslim conspiracy theory, and they found a kid who looks like he's Donald Trump, who's Pakistani and Muslim. Look at this. Now, again, I'd like to think the difference is people can look at this on the Democratic side and giggle and laugh and go, that's funny, right? But then for whatever reason, so many people on the right are like, no, literally, this is not John Fetterman. And here, look at all the 6 different fake Fettermans they got running around out there now. Look, it just makes it harder to get through to people when you're trying to deal in reality, right? It just makes it harder to get through to them. If they're so far gone that they think the earth is flat, that, you know, they think there's 6 different Fettermans. I mean, I like to consider myself something of an expert on the deconversion stuff, but that's even above my pay grade, dog. That's difficult. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.